This came out right before stream started tonight. In this week's Shadowlands beta build, Soulbinds have had their tree layouts changed in a small but important way. All Soulbinds now have access to 2 potency conduit sockets, whereas previously all trees had 3 potency sockets. The goal of this change is to increase the flexibility of Soulbinds and make it more viable to use one Soulbind for multiple specializations. Due to potency conduits effects being mostly spec specific, they are the conduits most likely to make the Soulbind layout feel locked into one specialization. While we expect this to be a natural way for many players to engage with Soulbinds, picking one Soulbind per spec and building them out accordingly, we want to make sure that there is room to discover other setups that work for you based on the content you prefer to participate in. The removal of potency sockets has been replaced with either an endurance or finesse socket by virtue of primarily being class-wide effects are easier to... excuse me, I can't even read. By virtue of primarily being class-wide effects are easier to justify across using multiple specializations. We look forward to seeing how you choose to build out your Soulbinds and your continued feedback on the system. This seems like a really unnecessary change to just make conduits spec specific. I wish that's the one big one of my biggest criticisms about the Soulbind system. I don't understand why we just can't change spec, have a different conduit setup for each spec. Like when you change specs, just like your talents change, just have the conduits change. So if I want to use one Soulbind on all 3 of my specs because I really like the build or whatever your reason may be, like you should just be able to do whatever you want. You shouldn't feel like, well, I used just using, let's say, let me go to really quick. Let me go to the calculators, right? Right, so let's say we're Kyrian, right? Oh, well, now because I used Pelagos on my Feral Druid, I have to use either Clea or Mechanikos on my Balance Druid. I can't use Pelagos now because he's already locked in for Feral, right? What if I want to use Pelagos on Boomkin as well? You should be able to. You should be able to. So, I get that they're trying to do this to, make it a little bit more flexible, but I don't know. I don't think this is the answer. I think that they're better off just making conduits spec specific. What do you guys think? I'm streaming this right now, but if you're on YouTube, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Do you like this? Do you think this is a good idea? Do you think this is a good change? Or do you think that they should just make them spec specific? I don't think this is necessarily a bad change, but I just think they're trying to make it it's just unnecessary to where it would just be so easy if they just made them spec specific. But I don't know, maybe there's something I'm missing. Let me know in the comments below. People on Twitch, let me know what you think as well. Yeah, no, I like that. I like it not just being raw damage, It is cool that you can actually get more you have another utility slot, which, because I know from what I've seen too, damage on the beta is really high, so this would be a decent way to lower it, but again, while I do like this, actually, now that I'm kind of looking at it more, I do think this is pretty interesting. Again, having that extra, either a defensive or a finesse slot to kind of give you a little bit more personality outside of just more damage, I still think that it needs to be spec specific. I still think it needs to be spec specific.